The magic square. A magic square is a set of numbers arranged according to an interesting rule. It is a square grid filled with natural numbers, such that the sum of the numbers in any row, column, or diagonal is the same. Magic squares were known as far back as ancient times. Their special properties evoked fear in ordinary people. Many cultures even attributed magic powers to them. According to historical sources, they were sold as amulets to protect against evil. Historical records also tell us that the creators of magic squares were accused of witchcraft. The ancient Chinese, who had an advanced culture and possessed a high level of scientific knowledge, also left their mark on mathematics. They also knew about magic squares. The Lo Shu magic square was depicted on the shell of a giant turtle. Magic squares are supposed to have spread to the whole world from the Far East. Like so much other scientific knowledge, magic squares spread to Europe through the Arabs. As mathematics started to develop in the modern era, magic squares threw off the shroud of witchcraft. Over the past centuries, scientific method has often been applied to study both the steps used in creating magic squares and their properties. The simplest magic square is a 3x3 square grid consisting of the first 9 positive integers. The magic constant is easy to determine. Let's examine how the numbers are positioned. Using the numbers available, we can obtain the sum of 15 in 8 different ways. Since the number 5 is used in doing 4 sums, it must be positioned in the central cell of the square. Each of the even numbers forms part of 3 sums, so these must be placed in the corner cells of the square. Because the sum is 15, the numbers 2 and 8 must lie on one diagonal, and the numbers 4 and 6 must go on the other. We can position the 4 even numbers in 8 different ways. Since the location of the missing numbers is clear, we have created 8 different magic squares. Of course, there are also larger magic squares. Also, magic squares do not necessarily need to be filled with the first positive integers. However, it requires relatively advanced mathematical knowledge to create such squares. Magic squares also had an impact on scholars and artists who dealt with other areas of mathematics. Among these artists is the German painter Albrecht Dürer. The magic square depicted in his engraving Melancholia I is perhaps the best-known magic square in the world. This 4x4 square probably originates from India. Dürer rearranged the rows slightly so that the middle 2 cells in the bottom row combine to show the year he produced the piece. To this day, magic squares continue to fascinate mathematicians and laypeople alike. History has seen the development of numerous remarkable magic squares. One of these is the alpha magic square, in which it is not only numbers that generate the magic square, but also the number of letters in the word for each number. Now that is truly magic.